Is token on year-old flower that bad? Come on, Scotty. Like you really called me out on this one. We're debating like how long can you store weed? Is it still going to stay good? Degradation?
Dude Grows is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All our content is legal and complies with YouTube community guidelines. So there.
Yes, smoking on year-old flower is that bad, all right? We'll get into it. Come on. I guess not if it's stored properly, right? There's some tricks, man.
We're also going to get into a little grow talk with what you really need to know about feeding seedlings. Had a great post over there from Real DGC. What's up, DGC Dirk? And Scotty, you got a good fall of Prohibition report today.
No, it's a terrible fall of Prohibition report. I think the DGC is going to break this guy out of jail at the end once you hear this one.
All right, but first, before we hop into it, subscribe to this channel. Everybody help support the show. No one we're coming out at you, all right? It's very important. We're going to say hello to everybody. Hello, Grambo, by the way. Grambo's on the boards hanging.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, dude. Hello, Grambo.
Feeling good.
Hey, did anybody miss us on YouTube Wednesday? It's all part of the new way, dude. The new way. Man, I'm so tired of editing ourselves. We'll give it a whirl, man. We'll do a nice, clean show. But if you want to see us get crazy, if you want to see dudes your old weed, check us out on realdgc.com. 420 live every Wednesday. And that was fun. Good job, everybody.
All right, let's get into this, man. What's the best way for maximum terpene preservation? I want to sound fancy.
Yeah, smoking freshies, man. That's the best way.
Well, yeah, you said like it starts to degrade after 3 months. And I guess technically you're right. But I was like, oh, man, sometimes I'll pull out bud that's a year old and I still don't mind it at all. It's still working.
Who are you, man? Is that what we're doing? Is growing bud that we don't mind smoking? Or are we trying to grow the best bud that we possibly can? The kind of bud that makes our friends go, ow! What was that, man? And I just gotta correct you. Those terpenes start degrading. They're always degrading. Terpenes are what you're smelling in the air. Like I said, it's not magic. You're smelling those chemicals that are in the air. And so
it starts degrading even on the plant, right at harvest.
Yeah.
You'll see them going from milky to amber to,
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of them do start volatilizing 70 degrees. That's why you go into a room, even when it's cool, it still smells like weed, right?
Yeah. If you're getting it in the air, you're getting the aroma. I mean, so let's get into it then. There's short-term storage, long-term storage. You want to make sure it's cured before you go to long-term storage. And I just to be clear, I'd rather smoke 3-month-old weed than year-old long, but sometimes we harvest way more than we can have. You always got buckets laying around. You got to give out a bunch and able to just get through it, right?
Absolutely. It doesn't mean that it doesn't change, though. It absolutely does. There's oxidization. Did I say that word right? It oxidizes, man. And things become less potent. Those terpenes are what? Hydrogen and carbon. Hydrogen is the lightest of all the elements. It's easy for that to escape that trichome.
All right, so you're telling me rule number 1 is storage temperature. Keep it low, below 70, hopefully in the low 60s. Don't think the fridge is the answer. Well, if I go in the fridge, a lot of times people in the fridge, you can get into like moldy thing. It can get cold enough to get moisture out. The fridge isn't good.
This is fridge stuff. I pulled this out, and this would be the last thing that I would want to smoke. What's in the bucket that's a little bit fresher. This is only a few weeks old, but still, it makes a difference, man.
Next is keeping it not, especially where you live, but in general, don't let it dry out too much, man, or get too wet. If your exchange air is up, sometimes the humidity here in the Pacific Northwest is up in the 70s, 80, almost 90%.
Yeah, and I'm looking, and I was reading about this, and when they said heat speeds degradation up, they say it's not linearly. How do you say that, Grambo? Linearly. It's exponentially, which means it starts multiplying by itself. So you end up getting for each little increment, each degree increase you get in heat, you get an exponential degradation of trichomes. And that's a big deal.
Exponential degradation of trichomes.
Yeah, 4 plus 4 is 8, but 4 squared. What is that, Grambo? That's 64. Is that right? No, it's 16, man. 16. I'm all better. 4 cubed, 64.
There you
go. Exponential, right? That's 2 degrees, bro.
Oxygen also degrading terpenes. It's like, dude, I can't let it like get fresh oxygen, see the light, or get too hot, basically. Is that it in a summary?
Yeah. Yeah. Light degrades terpenes, heat degrades terpenes, and air degrades terpenes. So what do we got to do to minimize that, right?
I think you like these proper storage. I've seen when I was just visiting you. You have these Seabolt things sitting around. They actually even have clamps on them, right? That's like to keep, as far as we're talking about oxygen getting in and out of the container.
Yeah, that's cool because, that one you're going to have some oxygen get in and out. It's when you open it up. It's not really the seal. It's when you open it up. But what I like about those is they've got that humidity pack in there. So the humidity is the big deal. You don't want it pulling that unbound water out because that's how you get molds and mildews.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Not the mold and mildews. I've definitely had that before. Also, you can use those packs. Shout out. I know used to be Bovida, I think Vivi packs. It's basically a humidity pack like where you're at. You're going to reintroduce humidity from that pack when you open the container. Where I'm at, sometimes more moisture is going in because it's humid in the air. It will take it back out and tries to keep you right at that 58 or 62% or what you prefer.
Yes, it's a big deal because you want to pull that dry air out, or at least it's a big deal for me because when I open the bucket, it's got 15% humidity air going back. Just that little bit that's in here is enough to dry that bud out, especially if you're opening it up twice a day.
Yeah, try not to open up your main storage areas once or twice a day. Of course, that's a tip. Once you get your cannabis to where it is properly dried, cured, ready to stay closed, the humidity pack, put it in bigger jars, bigger containers, Seabolt, whatever you're doing, and take out what you need maybe for the week. I don't know. I don't like seeing those big containers being open too much, especially where you're at.
Hey, so now that we know what's going on in there, how do we store it? What do you think the best way is? I mean, people diss and let me know in the comments. People dog me out because I'll use plastic off gases, they say. Maybe mine's already off gas, but I will use a 5-gallon bucket.
I actually have bought in there, not, cheap compared to a regular 5-gallon, like the food grade. It's a food grade plastic that people
That's smart.
To do different things with on like Amazon or wherever. I definitely don't want. I have open plastic containers like the Sterilite and been like, oh my God, that chemical. I would definitely not put anything in there.
Yeah.
On token, but I like something with a rigid wall. Bags are okay for moving stuff around or quick after harvest, storage or whatever you're doing. But long-term storage, I like to have like a rigid wall.
Yeah, I mean, those trichomes are delicate. It's this little, glass bulb is what is what I try to think of it as. And that's where all the good stuff, those terpenes and cannabinoids are loaded. Grambo, you just came up with a great point about it seems intuitive. You want to save stuff, you put it in the freezer, right?
Yeah, the freezer gets ice kind of on it. And then also even the refrigerator can be bad because it's that thermal expansion. The heat makes it expand, the cold makes it contract. And the more you do that, cracks can form and all it starts. I always say it's reeking because it's leaking.
Nice. I always say, what else expands when it gets cold other than water? Right? Water expands. So if you got some water inside that cell or unbound water outside that cell and you freeze it, man, think about the ice cubes. You put them in they run over the tray when they freeze. Man, that's what happens. And it ends up exploding that trichome and ruin it. So don't put it in the freezer.
You had mentioned the trichomes falling off and whatnot, and with really good bud, you'll see trichomes on even the sidewall of jars. When you have it in a plastic bag, like an eighth or a quarter or whatever, I always remember I was traveling and trying to get that last one hit out of the back corner of the bag on this like vacation, and it was pretty clear. And I call that
this better have been in the 80s, bro.
I call and this was in the late 90s. Anyway, okay. I called it my first unknown trying some concentrates because the whole corner of the bag was like trichome heads. I put it on one hitter and smoked that, and I was cloud 9, dude. I'm like, whoa. So definitely the bag environment can beat them up a little bit. Good for on the go, but there's better options.
Yeah, man. I stopped putting my weed in a bag a long time ago. Jars really are the way. I have 5-gallon buckets now, but do me a favor, Grambo. Green Ogre Farms knows how to keep the light out of his jars. Yeah, baby. That's cool. He just put a recharge sticker, a Grow Dot sticker on his jars to keep the light out. And by the way, Grambo, congratulations.
Yeah.
We have bought so many ball jars for jarring up our harvest in Denver that they now name the stadium. It's Ball Arena.
Our team is called the Nuggets, and they stay in the ball jar.
Yeah, right?
It's perfect.
But those ball jars are great, man. And then I would just put them in a cool place. If you got someplace in your house that stays cool, maybe it's a room that gets the lion's share of the air conditioning, put them in there in dark. I like to put them in the closet. And it lasts for a long time. Go check my sock drawer, man. You might find some weed in there.
Why don't you guys give us some comments, man? I've seen a lot of different things out there. What do you store your weed in? I do like those mason jars that are like they're amber. They're like some growers like it keeps all the light out. It's like a dark tinted mason jar, but then you can't see the beautiful dank inside. But let me know in some comments below, guys.
Hell yeah. Tight work, dude.
All right. Before we get into some good comments and whatnot, I wanted to shout out DGC Cup. I am every episode, guys. DGCcup.com is this weekend. Yeah, this weekend, dear God, I'm almost made myself freak out. It's the first weekend in June. 3-day growers event. Come and check it out. DGCcup.com. And we also we have Grow Bags, man. Grow Bags is a sponsor of the Cup. They love to support the local community, and they made us, everybody's coming is going to get their own little Grove bag, UGC logo on there. And like I said, that bag has its purpose. There's a lot of weed be handed out at the Cup, so everybody has a little option for some easy storage.
Nice. I like it. Got the airtight, right? You get no new air in there. You got light tight. I like it.
Subscribe to this channel as well, everybody. Don't forget, be notified. We have a new schedule here. Like Scotty said, we're still coming at you every Saturday. We're live over in Real DGC every Wednesday, but subscribe. Know what we're doing when we're doing it.
Yes.
All right, let's hop into what's going on YouTube, man. Grambo Grows. We got Scotty Real. We got DGC Grow Talk. We got stuff happening.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Hey, Grambo.
Yes, sir.
You had an interesting comment from Chris Now.
Chris Now.
And they were asking, you must have done something on CO2 recently?
Yeah, it's one of the most confusing things. The way it's tied to PPFD really surprised me in the last year.
Man, I had to argue with High C about more nitrogen. And I was like, it's not the yield limiting factor. Yeah, CO2 is most of the time your yield limiting factor. Anyway, Chris wants to know, maybe it's Chris No. I don't know. How long will one 20-pound CO2 bottle last if you only use it during lights on the average? First of all, don't ever use CO2 when the lights are off. It is a waste.
Yes.
And, man, that's a loaded question. How big's your room?
It depends. Your ppm per the room. Exactly.
Yeah, is it sealed well?
If you're growing in a ballroom, that's a day.
Phase of growth. Once your seedlings grow, the more leaves, the more leaf surface you have, the more stomato's opening, the more CO2 being used. So obviously mature plants use a ton more, even if it's a 5x5. Seedlings versus 5x5, mature vegetative state, it's going to suck it down. And just to be clear, you don't want to be exhausting your room if you're spending money on a 20-pound tank. Hopefully at this point, it means that you have a completely controlled environment. You have AC, you have dehumidifier. You're not using outside air to handle your environment.
And even a little bit of air exchange is going to dilute that really, really fast.
Absolutely,
so,
Manny.
I can tell you just on average, it's huge. There's so many variables here. I can make a 20-pound tank last me almost a month on a 5x12 room, but it's not packed like canopy to canopy full of plant. I know you're going to sound crazy. In that room, there is about, I think, 8 5-gals. And I'm also only maxing it out at about 700 to 800. So that's another factor. Some people will be like, well, dude, why don't you take it full bore? Because I don't want to justify spending $40 on refills every 2 weeks. And I, kind of want to make it. I'm still doubling ambient. So that's okay.
Yeah. And what Grambo said, it needs to match your light.
Yes.
If you're running 800 or 900 ppfd, you don't want to be running 1500 ppm.
Literally a waste. They cannot absorb.
Yep. So matching it depends how much light you got. It depends how well the room is sealed. It depends what ppm that you're trying to achieve in the grow, how many plants you have in the grow. Man, mine lasts 10 days, maybe I would say.
I would have said about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had an 8x12 and it was about that.
That's where I'm pretty much at. I'm at a 6x12. But
like it. I like it. Lastly, I want to add one thing to CO2. There are a lot of growers that have they're happy with where they're at. They're doing an air exchange. They're getting their ambient CO2. It's growing enough dank for them. Like, dude, this is great. And there's nothing wrong with that. CO2 is something that is an upgrade. It's not the necessity.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a necessity to have air exchange to have at least ambient CO2. Don't get me wrong. But in a sealed room, I've seen plants when you run out of your tank go down to like below 200 at times.
Oh, yeah.
Cow is starving. So
yes. But Mother Nature gave us 400 parts per million of CO2. That is enough to grow really good quality plants. Just you got to exchange it. If you're not running a CO2 tank, you got to exchange that air, get fresh 400 ppm air in there. That's all.
All right. Scotty Real 420 over on YouTube. I was looking, I believe he did a video on like, is it worth growing? If you have, you can go out to the dispo, you have legal weed, man, prices are coming down in a lot of places. I was just in Colorado. It wasn't feeling that bad when I went out and bought an 8. I wanted to go get some 1-to-1. I mean, other states can be crazy. An 8 can be like $60. I think I paid like $20 or less for a decent 8.
Yeah, Grambo, how cheap is cannabis here?
It's been, I saw the two craziest things I've ever seen in my life. I watched a pound allegedly go for almost 5,000 and a week later, one for 350.
Hey,
and depending on what it is, it's all about the pedigree. This pot has papers, dude.
Papers. Mr. Not Sure says since legalization in my state, it is not really worth growing. But everything I grow is much better than what I can get at the dispo. So I've downsized a little and focused on growing half the plants and higher quality. That's the move.
That's the move.
I mean, that and this goes into our conversation earlier. We're talking about fresh herb, and as it's 3 months old, is it? And when you say everything I grow is much better than what we can get at the dispo, I think part of that problem is storage and moving it around and, does the dispo, you know what I'm saying? It's probably pretty damn good. And there is some good weed at the dispo, but I'm not sure you're going to save money. I think regardless, like a grow tent setup now is not that much as far as returning or anybody listening, and it's horticultural therapy. I always say that, dude. Growing plants is fun.
Grambo.
Yes.
We own a dispensary together, right?
Sure.
All right. I can get you a 9 or a 10 in quality. It's going to take 11 weeks and it doesn't yield so good. Or I can get you a solid 7 and 8 that yields in 7 weeks and huge, man. Which are we going to do?
You ever been past McDonald's? There's always a line. People want garbage. And I don't know what to do about that.
Not garbage, man. That's people want good quality, but a lot.
We want it. There's a big line at the steakhouse, but there's a big line at McDonald's too. So you pick which one you want. I know I'm probably going to go with the quality, unfortunately, and then I'll just take a bath.
Right. But it does make sense if you're a home grower, grow a bit less. I can't smoke all the weed that I have a 6x12 and I can't smoke all the weed that comes out of it. It's a few plants a month. Now look at nice guy, Kenny. And so, you don't have to grow. He's got a 4x8 and he's got too much weed.
Nice.
Dude, don't forget about DGC Grow Talk. DGC Grow Talk, guys, on YouTube. We are going to have a bit more content there as well. So we'll be going over there and connecting with, I don't know, it's about 13 minutes or less, talking some Grow Talk. We're going to put a little culture over there as well. So if you're missing out on this channel, go over there and see what we got going on as well. We had a biostimulant conversation. And one of our shorts over there, what are the best biostimulants worth implementing in your grow? And Ray J 8322 says, one of the best biostimulants that I have purchased has been CK Kelp. It's a kelp product, a kelp extract by Greenleaf Nutrients. You can use it as a soil drench or a foliar feed. With foliar feeding, you can use it in any style grow. And by now with that, you're not messing with the root system. If you're in a hydro, deep water culture, and you want to foliar feed some products that you can't put in your system, I like that.
Sure.
With it. Plus, with foliar feeding, you see benefits really quickly. Sometimes definitely with light cycle overnight, halfway through a vegetative, the nutrients or whatever you're foliar feeding goes into the plant way quicker than the root zone.
It's not nutrients, man. It's hormones. Think about that. Sure. I can go eat a big meal. I might be a little different. Grambo goes in and gets himself a hormone shot. Comes out ready to tackle the world, man. Yeah. No, but it is. That kelp is loaded with hormones. They make us the fastest growing plant in the world. It is a plant, grows with seawater and as a bioaccumulator. So it's, but it's loaded with hormones. That's really the trick of it.
Yeah, I'll shout out Canada's got a great one, especially for foliar feeding. It's super clear and easy to mix. Their Rizzo tonic. If you guys want to hook up on some great kelp, check out. Actually, we're hooking up the DGC, guys. Go over to realdgc.com. Producers, I have a bunch of this and some Canna Start and their new plugs. So go over to that giveaways group, man. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. I also wanted to mention with foliar feeding, if you have a deficiency, and you can tell me if you agree or not, let's say I noticed a CalMag deficiency, you can definitely hit it in the root zone, or maybe it's a nitrogen deficiency, the same thing, but why not foliar feed as well? Why not attack it from both sides? You know, I've definitely foliar feeded some different fish and nitrogen products before. Actually, one of them was called Verde, and you would get really good reaction, amazingly fast. So,
yeah, I don't. When it comes to foliar feeding, I don't know about the fish because it has to be a small molecule. That's why they talk about humix and fulvics. Only the fulvic can get in there. It's that really lighter, smaller molecule fraction. So be careful what you spray on, because just make sure that it's able to be absorbed foliarly. Damn, we got tough words today, Grambo.
Yeah, I always think humics are huge and fulvics can foliar.
Wow, man. We are the king of mnemonic
I'm telling you.
Huh?
Print it.
We can actually make growing kind of easy, huh?
That's what we're here to do.
Dude, the plants are so complex, man. When you start thinking of the signaling, they're just unbelievably complex.
There's some recipes out there. Be careful. I believe you can mix things as well for different delivery methods as far as, surfactants, as far as having the right spray. That's a whole other subject, making sure that you can use a horticultural oil or some product that gives a uniform sprayer. The foggers these days are pretty awesome, efficient way to deliver foliar feeding, different foggers that are out there. So
just be careful. They got things like sticker spreaders that the horticultural guys use, but they're not smoking the actual plant material. So be careful what you spray on your buds.
All right, Scott. Hey, I know before the show you were super hyped on talking some seedlings. You want to throw to a awesome Grow Talk segment about how to start them seedlings?
What is the ideal environment for seedlings? This is a cool question. Came over on realdgc.com. This is by Dirk. Seedlings are Tropicana cookies. Do me a favor. Check that out, Grambo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, team. You able to tell me what the acceptable relative humidity, PPFD, and EC are? So you got the amount of, I'm going to say VPD, your temperature and humidity, your amount of light, and your amount of fertilizer for an autoflower seedling. They're notoriously light feeders, huh? 2 days old and a rapid rooter. What do you think?
Yeah, I know rapid rooter's inert, so there's no food in here.
Yeah.
If we look at the second picture, Grambo, with the cotyledon leaves completely closed or just getting ready to go, I'm still not giving any food at all. This plant has everything it needs. It comes with nutrition in the seedling. The next picture, though, I'm going to start thinking about it. I'm going to start thinking about getting a little bit of nutrition into that media.
A little bit, yeah. Man, honestly, maybe the same way I treat my clones. I would use maybe some of that Clonex solution, between 150 and 250 parts per million. That thing needs very little nutrition right now. And suppose seedlings are supposed to have enough nutrition in order to get some true leaves going and then get their taproot down to where they can start absorbing nutrition. That's a couple weeks, I would say.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, when Scotty's saying like 200 ppm, maybe 250 at the most, you don't want to burn them at this stage. If you're using a TDS pen, which is it measures total dissolved salts in solution, or gives you a simple number to base off with synthetics to stick it in there. They're super cheap. No worry. At some feed charts, if you guys are on a feed chart program, they'll have, very early veg seedlings. They'll give you the amounts to add and go at the very low end of that. But definitely be careful. But I've seen people not give enough. You want these babies to take off.
Yeah, you don't want them to be hungry. And by the way, you said TDS. Why do they make it? Sometimes they make it really hard on us. TDS, total dissolved solids, EC, electrical conductivity, and PPM, parts per million. It's all the same damn thing, man. It's all the same pen, all right? So when we talk about those, they're somewhat interchangeable. It's just measuring the amount of metal or the amount of salts that are in your soil or in your nutrient solution, actually. So,
well, in his question too was the PPFD, which is light intensity. So you seedlings can get leggy quick. So you want to make sure you have enough light on them and increase it fairly, accordingly as you go up. Right off the bat, them coming out of the soil, it's going to be low. Some people just have their grow light all the way up here for their grow and their seedling trays off to the side. It's 4 feet off it and it's low. Other people, the fluorescent lights that sit right in there. But what would you suggest if you want to give an actual number?
Oh, PPFD? I don't know, 200. What do I think clones are, about 200, 250 PPFD. I'll bet you could rock them the same amount of light. And like you said, if you do it too low of light, man, they end up stretching like crazy. You ever see them stretch right out of the pod? They'll just totally grow right out.
Yeah, it gets my pet peeve. They get too many legs. Yeah, once you see the true cannabis leaves, man, it's go time. You can start increasing nutrition and light intensity pretty quick. Next thing, Dirk, you're asking about your relative humidity. I almost screwed this up. I was going to pop my seedlings and have them be in the same environment. I'm like, I was just in a rush. I'm like, dude, I'm going out of town. I'll just put my seedlings in my clone dome. And those are two different environments, man. Yeah. Right. I think
clone dome has about it. I'm sorry, but a clone dome has a root, or has no roots, rather. So you got to keep it. It's living off the moisture through its leaves. A seedling, you're really trying to encourage the taproot to go on down and start mining nutrients. So very different, man. I would definitely. And by the way, I have a pet peeve here, man. He said relative humidity. We talking VPD around here, man. Relative humidity is only half of the equation. It is temperature and humidity together. They work together to weigh down. There's actually water, humidity in the air. It weighs on the leaf, and the way you change the temperature, the way it changes how that plant responds. So we should start thinking temperature and humidity, i.e. VPD, when we're talking about plants.
Totally agree.
0.9.
Use a heat mat. Pro tip, heat mat used for clones, heat mat used to get seedlings going quick as well. You want that media nice, warm, and moist and ready to rock. We can see what is this next picture here from.
Hang on a second. Do you mind if I think about 75% relative humidity, 75% 75 degrees temperature. I think that's right around 1 or 0.9 VPD. If you look at it on a chart, man, I think that's mid 70s. I think is really good for seedlings to pop.
Yeah, and like you said, I want to recommend going a little bit warmer, but it is kind of relevant to VPD. If you're going to go warmer, you got to watch your humidities, but keep it up too. You want your regular veg humidity in there to be, at least for me, 60%. But you're probably going to be like, well, if you're at least at 60%, what's your temperature correlation with VPD? I get it. 75
is so easy. And then most people's homes are close to that, right? I guess not if you're in Colorado.
No. We had another DTC on this subject. Taz 57. It's got the opposite, maybe a little bit of a nutrient burn here.
Yeah. What's it say? Yeah. First plant in a tent. She's a week old. Just wondering what the reason for the brown tips. Too much water or light, maybe. Has grow dots. A little recharge a few days in. Any help is appreciated. Yeah, there's some clues right there. That is a seedling. So if you've taken, I've never talked about grow dots with seedlings because I've never tried it. But I put 5 grams of grow dots in with a rooted clone. And
now, wait, when you say rooted, how rooted? Like you're taking a clone that has like a golf ball mass size of roots or more?
Yeah, plenty of roots. Yeah, plenty of roots. And I'll put 5 grams in there and in this cup. And it goes crazy, but that's like a high rate. I only recommend 15 grams per gallon, and that's a solo cup. So yes, it is. If you've done 5 grams of dots, or if you've gone past 300, 400 ppm of fertilizer, I would expect to see that. And that to me does look like burn, but man, we talked about fertilizer. We talked about VPD. Man, we did not talk about watering. I think overwatering is probably the most dangerous thing for a seedling, no?
Worth noting, make sure I see this seedling here is in, if you pull that up, Grambo, it looks like it's in like a solo cup. So it's definitely not root bound. Looking at the cocoa it's in, it doesn't look, too wet at the top, but that's not to say he didn't get it pretty wet. So water for the plant, not the container. That's kind of the saying for this, to make sure you don't overwater, especially until they get some more leaf set on to get going.
What do you think? Like a couple hundred parts per million, or just use something like I got the Clone X, the same thing I use for clones. You recommend something like that?
I don't know. Canada's got a new product called Start, which I like because it's a one part that's really easy to mix up. Anybody that's got some other base, yeah, there we go. It's just simple for seedlings and clone nutrition. People can do it with their own base nutrients as well. I think it gets tricky with organics a little sometimes, top dressing or whatnot. But the main takeaway is, I don't want to say less is more, but don't burn these babies.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would err on the side of it being a little underfed. So then you can just add a little bit more nutrient than it being overfed and killed and died,
Dig. And as I say, we wanted to know, give us some comments, man. What is your nutrition seed game, man? How do you guys feed these babies? How do you get them to take off the fastest? And how early? I've heard some people say they go pretty hot early, but maybe they just know that strain better.
Yeah, could be. Let us know in the comments.
Speaking of comments, let's hit some from this channel, man. We got Warrior
in the garden, man. I'm a warrior in the garden. Yeah.
It's
easy. I don't know what's wrong with it.
All
right. It says, man, my local hydroponic store just closed. I was so bummed. When I pulled up to the spot, all boarded up now. I have to order my soil online and pay the outrageous delivery fees because Home Depot has crap soil.
Yeah.
I think maybe. Yeah, for the most part, I don't want to be buying my soil mixes from Home Depot. I think it's always cross-contaminated potentially with bugs as well.
I think they got Pro Mix there. So if you like peat, you can get a Pro Mix peat bale there. But good luck trying to get Coco Loco or a Canna Coco or Tupper or any of the good ones there. You're right, man. Shipping that has got to cost a fortune. I know. I ship stuff all day.
If you can, it does suck. The local hydro store used to be like, okay, we got our racks of our soil stored inside here. Maybe I'm too paranoid. The nursery, they just got so many plants there that could potentially have so many issues on them that I get paranoid about the bag or even brushing up against stuff. And keep in mind, guys, 'tis the season. A tip here, my boy works at a commercial nursery transplanting plants. And I was out of town visiting Scotty on 420. And he came home from work one day. I called him like, you're at home, sweet. I need you to open my grow tent. I want you to check. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Stop. So this is the time of year to think about when you guys are going inside and outside. If you're in the yard, you're doing yard work, you love to garden, cross-contamination is real in the spring and summer for us indoor growers. So be careful. That's my notes.
I'm going to tell you a little story, all right? My wife started buying, I must have gotten high or whatever, drank too many beers and bought Hello Fresh, okay? So a big box of Hello Fresh shows up, and on principle alone, I just can't eat it. And besides the waste and and all that, all the plastic and all that, for me, it's about supporting my local store. If I stop supporting my local grocery store, they'll stop carrying stuff, and then I'll have no choice but to buy it in a box, one chicken breast at a time through through whatever the hell that service is. So just the support. I think it's really important. Even if you're a local hydro store, maybe it's a little bit easier to go, oh, you know what? I can get this on Amazon tomorrow. Maybe it's $1 cheaper there. Go spend the extra buck. Go say hello to the person at the hydro store. Always say, vote with your dollars, right?
If you don't have the option, as a lot of people don't now, you can support the people that are in this community. Jeremy at Build a Soil ships nationwide. I think he has some pretty actually affordable bundles with shipping. We've always said, Canna Coco comes in bricks. You can get the brick on Amazon, which is a great way. Just if you have no other option, some people don't want to drive 2 or 3 hours, you can do that. But yeah, just be careful with what you're going. Oh, go soilless, Scotty. Go back to that deep water culture. We haven't come to that. Maybe coming up on another. That's one advantage of water culture, right? You have no media. It is kind of cool.
That is a terrible advantage, man. There is no buffer. All right. No pH buffer there.
Thanks, Grambo. buildasoil.com/dude grows. Well, Jeremy being nice to us over there. Wait, quick question, Scotty. So when you're the kind of guy, which I think I am, when you are in the grocery store and there's somebody at a checkout lane, like a clerk ready to check you out, but then there's the machine that you do yourself, you try to go support the people so they're still there?
Oh, I never do the machine. Man. Because every time I go, I'm high as hell and I'm like 50 items. They look at me and feel bad. Even if it's like 11 at night, they're like, let me help you out.
I know, it's kind of getting scary. It was like going to the airport, visiting you, looking at Whack Arnold's, as I call it, Whack Arnold's, McDonald's in the airport. And like, there's and everybody's standing in line at these touch screens to get their food. But I don't know, I'm just getting old school.
You are. Hey, dude, hang on a second. You were talking about autos. I don't think you're a big autos fan. What was that? We did a short form on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did recently over on DDC Grow Talk. We talked about autos.
My friend, well, this is from Tent75, says my friend grows the dankest, flavorable, and powerful autos that I've ever tasted. The most flavorable. All right, man. Dude, autos are good. Cortez ain't growing them for his health, man. He's growing them because he likes good weed.
They are definitely, they are worthy. They are worthy now more than they have been. They did get a rap. You were able to look at it and say, oh, that's auto flower stuff. But we see them in the DGC Cup. We have entries of autos in the DGC Cup. Cortez, I believe, is entering. So yeah, they can compete with the best of them.
I'm a fan, sir. Things change, man.
All right, before we hop over to our fall of Prohibition report, I'm going to shout out, guys, if you guys are growers, man, you want to find the gear that we're using, the people that support our community. It's over on realddc.com/deals. We know everybody behind these companies, even the guy behind Real Growers. He's all right. It's okay. So go over here, though. All the coupon codes are listed, man. Vote with your dollars and go over to realddc.com/deals and see how to up your grow game.
Yes. All right, Grambo, come on. Let's do a fall of Prohibition report, man.
All right.
Come on. Do you want to see how weed was done back when I was a kid? Come on, check this out really quick, man. This is, scroll down if you would, or I can read it. Just look at that. Look at that. It's 200 tons of Panama Red. So they just loaded up a freighter. This is back in 1981. Remember I told you I moved to Florida when I first did. It was 1981, and it was insane. All right? And this is why. Because you take a boat out. This is 200 tons of Panama Red. They're 90-pound bales. And what happened was the cops got tipped off about this and they busted the freighter or whatever it was, the ship, but they had already offloaded it to like half of their smaller, boats that were supposed to bring it in. All the smaller boats, all the smaller boats knew that they got busted. So they started throwing the bales overboard. So now there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of bales floating around the Keys. And everybody, the parents were like, dude, we're taking the kids out of school. It's about a 4-hour drive. They're like, we're going down to Key West. We're bringing the boat. And there was just good weed around for years after that.
Panama Red with the salt terps. Some saltwater terps up in there or what? Couldn't be that.
Yes.
Maybe they sealed them up well.
You would have smoked it back in the day. Weed was a little more valuable back then.
I mean, you got me smoking your old weed already, right? Sure, dude's going to smoke it.
I wonder if that was any good. And so tell me in the comments, all y'all, Panama Red. Is that, it's a little before my time, I would say. I was 10 in 1981. But man, that story just made me smile. No.
What else you got?
This one, all right? Do we really need, this says canine credited for sniffing out more than 2,000 pounds of pot during Sumter County traffic stop. You're telling me that you need a drug dog to sniff out 2,000 pounds of pot in a truck.
It's jacked. Dog's flexing.
Yeah, that dog is flexing. That's AI. That's a filter.
And he's also showing you his junk directly.
Yeah. Wow, man. I like it.
Oh, dude. God.
No, but I just thought it's just a joke that if you have to get a dog to alert on a ton of weed in a truck.
Oh, if you do the proper smuggling, proper sealing tack, I'm sure hopefully you're good. It's the whole idea, at least.
Yeah, well, if so, man, kudos to the smugglers. And then, all right, from not being able to smell much to Grambo, click this. Is this real? A dispensary caught fire in Colorado, blanketing half the town in smoke. That's so awesome. Even if it's not real, I don't like the way that the flames are coming out of there.
Here's the question. Is it going to leave white ash or black ash?
Not bad.
Dispensary.
I'm giving, which is, kind of sad for me these days. I'm giving that AI. I could watch the smoke start to seam out of the shingle part or the upper roof. Right here down the right. That does not.
Yeah, I don't like the way that's rolling out of there. You don't trust things you don't know. One. Huh?
The arson investigator on that, baby. Not real. What else you got? Oh,
Do
this
me
is
a
a bummer.
favor. Show that kid, man. We got to help this guy. He's got the Sturgis shirt on. This guy was busted. Grambo, do me a favor. I don't have it pulled up, but he got busted in Texas. I'm sorry. And it was for like 2x4 tents or 2x2 tents. I will say, it has 2x2 tents. And does he have, is that a Canatrol or a V-Cure? Pretty pro for that tiny amount of tents.
He went full out on Vivio Sun gear, and those are their grow capsule boxes. They're kind of weird, but it is. Yeah, he's got everything here.
He's trying.
He's got and mushroom grow kits as
a
well.
Little bit, just a little, but like the tiniest amount. And then he's from Texas, so do they give you a gun in Texas when you're born and when you're 16? When you get your driver's license, you get a gun too. How's it work there?
That is kind of what we're looking at. If you're listening, they did. It was just like a hunting shotgun is thrown out in front of all this, which is super annoying. Like it has anything to do with it, any correlation there at all. Like, oh, look at all this. Obviously, since he has a shotgun, this is a problem. Like, yeah. Where's this GoFundMe, Scotty? Can we get one going here? Because
I think we need
a lot of shit.
Yeah, he could show up at the DGC Cup, man. He'd fit right in there, man. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, it says right here, this article made it sound like he had 2 massive grow rooms. You know what's funny? I look at these and I look at the comments. Comments are 90 or 100% pro cannabis. Those 2x2s are going to hurt the whole community. That's all oh my God, it's Mercer. Hell yeah. That's all they found. They should have given that shit back and give that kid an apology. You know, it's kind of crazy. Very crazy, man. This needs to be fixed.
Man, if you've been in the grow game a while, like, I don't know, me and you, Scotty, 20 years plus, longer than that. It's always, unfortunately, you hear something negative that happens to somebody that's just trying to grow some herb. Curious if you guys leave us some comments. Like, has anybody got railroaded like this or just busted? Like, let us know, and how can we help this cat?
Yeah, we got a fell prohibition. Prohibition has to fall, man. This is ridiculous. Come on, let us know in the comments. What can we do?
Man, speaking of getting busted here, I got a good comment from Lucid Genetics. Lucid Genetics, I like it. It says, when I was 14, I got busted at school for 0.4. Is that what I say? 0.04?
It's got to be 0.4 grams of cannabis. That's a joint, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Man, he says 0.04 grams.
0.04, as if maybe like the corner of a bag.
He says the size of a grain of sand. Man, I got busted for 3 grams or half of an eighth, rather, 2 grams. And man, you make me feel like a criminal.
I've heard these stories back in the 90s.
Wow.
This is back in the day. And you guys know, I traveled to see you cats with a grinder and a dugout, both empty, but there were grains of sand. I'm like, man, if they get desperate. Anyway, it says they gave me a month and a half in boot camp, and I was on probation for a year in 1999. I've been on my probation for cannabis for 3 different times in my life. Each time it was less than 2 grams.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I am so glad that has changed. I think a cop would feel silly now, at least in most states. You think in all the states, you think in Alabama, they're still glad to take you to jail for 2 grams of weed.
Is probation set up to make you succeed or fail? What do you think?
Well, it got me with the craziest. I got on probation, then I had to go to community service. And dude, the community service was so much more, I don't know about damaging, but yeah, it wasn't so good, man. They could have done better with me.
You could be put on you got to call in for the piss test, right?
Yeah.
And you get popped because you're smoking, and you weren't in trouble for smoking in the first place. It was possession. Or I've heard cats that got assigned like education classes.
Sure.
Like, dude, I came out of there with like more connects and bad influence friends. I didn't go. So
I can see it, man.
All right.
I could see it. Come on, man.
Yes. Go ahead. What you got? Fun stuff, man. It's Saturday. Laugh.
Come on. Let's wrap it up with some fun stuff. Grambo, we talk about, just because after the show we'll hang out. And if we turn on my YouTube, Simon Whistler is bound to show up.
If anybody anywhere anywhere turns on their YouTube, you're probably going to get 1 out of 10 a Simon Whistler. Hardest working man in YouTube, looks like my little brother.
Yeah. All right, ready? So I asked chat what all the Simon Whistler. First off, I want to see you two in the same room. All right. I love the fact, dude, click that. That's young Simon right there. He'll put that out.
Going bald with no facial hair is a bold maneuver.
Well, look next because somebody told him.
Hey,
there you go.
What?
But he'll put things out like 20 years old. Like a young Simon will put something out the next day. It's crazy.
I don't know.
But anyway, here's his channel. So I don't want to hear we have too many channels. Today I found out top 10s, Brain Blaze, The Casual Criminalist, Decoding the Unknown, Into the Shadows, Mega Projects, Side Projects, Biographs, Geographs, Worographs, Science of Science Fiction. Grambo, that's a hard-working man right there.
I'm all about science friction. You know that.
Word, not bad, sir.
Leave a comment if you think you know what I mean.
Grambo's actually funny. That should be a hashtag, bro.
Hashtag it.
So, hey, do me a favor, man. Just will you click this next one called Pot Smoking on Campus? And this is 1978. This is about the time that you can play it.
It began because, after all, the college kids stole the idea from the artists and the musicians. But this is where it really took hold. And so far, it hasn't left. It's not unusual to find students at UCSD or most other campuses smoking marijuana.
Is that Jerry Garcia?
Smoking that grass.
Look away, this chick's awesome.
Any good? Hey.
Would you like to try it?
No thanks, but
Some people like ice cream and others don't.
is this how you usually spend your lunch?
It's awesome, right?
It's always nice after eating.
You know that she's like a mayor or someone follow up on that woman. She's professionally successful.
That was awesome, right?
Guarantee it.
I love how he
that
says they
just
stole it. They stole it from the artist and the musician.
From the Hoopies. Yeah, this is 78. That's some Panama Red. That looks like an HID bowl.
Look at this guy. I just love it.
Oh, I thought that
We got to bring it back. Chest hair, baby, coming back.
I don't know if you can scroll back, but did you see what else was there? Right there, Grambo. Ready? They had Rush. Remember Rush? If you have to ask, you'll never know, Grambo.
All right.
Just Google it.
Love it.
Grambo, is this real? There's so much that's not real. Is this real? Click
here?
this.
What happened?
Well, no, I clicked the beginning.
There's a whale.
That is a whale
Bopping a
that
boat?
hit a boat.
I think it's probably real.
Look at the kid's face. Dude, that's
I'll give it.
unlucky, right?
That is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, when you see how boats and surfers look, that people will take photography like looking up at the surface, and we do look just like like animals. We look
Jesus.
like so. Yeah, but yeah.
Is that you, Grambo?
No.
Oh, you
Don't be baldest. I'm detecting some baldism in here.
baldest.
Just
man,
baldest.
all right? Oh man. Hey, do me a favor. Here's your keyboard player right here. You're in the band, right?
Yeah, I'm looking to start a band. Scott
This
knows it.
guy. Just play his music. Could you imagine going to, it's like he's at a restaurant.
I have for sure done comedy gigs with this guy
Look
over.
at that. Everything is strange about that guy, man, right?
That's somebody's dad, bro.
That is somebody. That's your keyboard player,
That's my
Grambo.
onk.
That is your keyboard
Nice.
player.
Onk.
Hey, do me a favor. Who's your lead singer?
I'd give anything for it.
Did anyone see old DLR, David Lee Roth at
Look,
Coachella?
the height of masculinity is femininity. Haven't you heard?
I think that guy was about the most masculine guy in the world in 1980 something.
Was he though?
When they were smoking, you're right. He had long blonde hair.
Yeah.
You're right. He wasn't the most masculine guy in the world. Dude, I'm going back. I'm nostalgic because back in those days, Grambo needs a new computer.
Well, this is the computer dude wanted to get me.
Yeah, dude.
He said, Grambo, it works fine.
I'm just
Dude, solid state.
solid state technology.
I mean, remember when we started just in our extra bedrooms doing podcasts? Everything's got to start somewhere. And man, that just impresses me. That's the first Apple computer there, 1978.
Shout out to Wozniak.
Yeah, I know. Isn't he the smart one? He's
Steve
the one that took
Wozniak.
all his money and left.
Well, and yes, Steve Wozniak is an interesting person. You can watch some YouTube videos about him after this one because it's he forges money legally It's a weird thing.
Grambo, click this next one. Can this be any good? I know like Frenchie Cannoli is always waxing poetic about the old Afghani hash and all that. This is them making it. They just sift it and then they compact it. They compress it.
Yeah.
Is there any way this is as good as our dabs?
Well, it's different. If I learned anything from 420, we were hanging out with Adam Dunn, and he's always passing around the hash pipe of the old timey hash. I'm immune to dabs, immune to flour. I smoke it all day long. Edibles. His old school hash pipe, bro, it had me roasted. So, like, I don't know. These are some. You always talk about getting some strange. Yeah. Well, you don't get much stranger than this.
Different terps, different cannabinoids that you're not used to, man. It's going to have an effect. Just like I'm not used to. You guys saw me when I was just in town. We were having a work meeting. I hadn't seen Grandma in a while. And he shows up and he just hands. He's like, here. Like,
well, it was like ring around the rosy. Scott handed to me. I handed to you. It's, you know.
And I just pulled a big rip of whatever 70% live resin or rosin. And for like the next 2 hours, I was not nearly as effective. I'm like, dude, I even got like that paranoid high going at first. Like, it's just Grambo here to work.
Sounds great.
You got to get used to it. After a while, you'll think you're being effective. You're still not, but I don't know. I could watch that for long periods of time, man. Come on, dude. Happy 420, everybody, or at least happy 420 a couple days ago. Who's got the balls to fly that flag? Who is that? Basement Beans.
Well, we don't know that Beans is this Beans' house.
Credit. It's a show. We'll give him the credit. All right, dude. That is balls, huh? You are loud and
street
proud.
Number blocked out. I think they'll say that's Bean's house. I think it is Bean's house.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, that is. I might as well fly that at my house. It's not like anybody's going to go, oh my God, really?
Yeah. In Denver, I could imagine seeing this in a Denver neighborhood and not thinking twice about it.
Grambo, this is for you. This is the next one is what you can imagine seeing.
Oh, well, this is
what happened? Dude put this on. I don't know. Oh, Grambo already had to like it, didn't he? I'd subscribe.
No, I think it's I think it's an AI,
I don't
honestly,
care.
But
Nova Cotton does not know
we know that should we out our friend? Who is it? Never mind. I was like, it'll show you who else has liked this. I was like, see who's the horn dog that's liking this picture.
Dude is. He's the one. I thought that was so funny. We're always talking about force feeding them cow mag. And more. Yes, more cow mag. That's how I'll end it, man.
Don't be a moron. Is that what you said, Scotty, before?
I didn't invent that, but I like to say it. Yeah, don't just throw more on there and talk a tiny bit of grow. What is your yield limiting factor? If it's calcium or magnesium, then add a little bit more. If it's carbon, then don't go adding calcium and magnesium. It's not going to help.
Yes. Guys, check out our other videos on ddcgrowtalk.com. You know, we're changing shiz up a little bit around here. We haven't been able to do the exact show we want to do right here. So we're hanging out every Wednesday on Real DDC TV, 420 Mountain as well. And that's free for everybody. It's changing it up a little bit. Always want to have a good time. Hang out on the Saturday. Hope you guys had a good time. Keep coming at you.
Yeah. All right. This was fun. Dude, Grambo, thank you for rolling with me today. And till next time, take her easy.
Grambo on the boards. Cheers.